July 20th meeting of the City of Longview is now called to order. Today's meeting is being conducted by teleconference to abide by county, state, and federal recommendations to limit in-person gatherings to help slow the spread of the coronavirus. We thank you for your understanding. First, I would like to introduce two new commissioners to the Planning and Zoning Commission. They are Jason Jones and Ryan Baumgardner. They were appointed by the City Council in June, and we welcome them to the commission. We would like to thank our two previous commissioners, Jack Jenkins and Ronnie Rice, for their dedicated and loyal service to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Next, we have roll call, and due to the format of this meeting, we will begin with a roll call to confirm all members of the commission are present and able to participate in our consideration. Commissioners, when I call your name, will you please respond in the affirmative? Do we know what that background noise is?
It appears one of the commissioners has their phone not muted, Tracy Vincent. So if everyone can stay muted until they're able to talk, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, those present, when I call your name, please respond to the affirmative. Nancy Murray.
Here.
Thank you. Thank you. Tracy Vincent. Tracy Vincent. Are you present?
Tracy is here. He looks like he's attempting to log in to get the audio going.
Yeah, the audio is not working. Okay, I'm here.
Thank you, Tracy. Tim Carpenter.
Here.
Thank you. Brent Stevenson.
Here.
Brent Stevenson. Did I hear you?
Here, yes.
Yes, thanks, Brent. Pat Noon.
Here.
Thanks, Pat. Cody Sage.
Here.
Thanks, Cody. Ryan Baumgardner.
Here.
Thanks, Ryan. Jason Jones.
Yes, ma'am, here.
Thank you, Jason. And I am Frankie Parson, the chairperson. Everyone is present. Also, we'll do a roll call of city staff. We have the city planner, Angela Choi.
Here.
Thank you, Angela. And Director of Development Services, Michael Shirley.
Present.
Thank you, Michael. Everyone, we're 100% attendance. Item 4 is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting in June. Has everyone had a chance to look at them? And if so, are there any corrections?
I would make a motion for approval.
This is
And
Pat Noon, second.
Who made the motion? Would you state your name first, please? Who is it?
Tim Carpenter.
Thank you. We have a motion by Tim Carpenter and we have a second by Pat Noon. We will now conduct the roll call vote. And indicate by saying aye or nay. Nancy Murray.
Aye.
Tracy Vincent. Tracy, do you approve the minutes? Tim Carpenter.
I approve.
Brent Stevenson.
Aye.
Pat Noon.
Aye.
Cody Sage.
Aye.
Ryan Baumgardner.
Aye.
Jason Jones.
Aye.
And I approve. Staff, will you now confirm the record of the vote?
Yes, the motion was made by Tim Carpenter. Mr. Pat Noon seconded. I didn't get Tracy's vote. I'm sorry. So it looks like it was 8-0.
Looks like it was what, please?
I couldn't hear Tracy's. Did Tracy make a motion to vote yes or no on the minutes? I'm sorry.
He did not respond.
Okay, so the vote was 8-0.
I said he did not respond, so we're still 8-0.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, citizen comment. We have now reached the citizen comment portion of our meeting, and those wishing to participate in citizen comment were invited to access this meeting through a link to register with the teleconferencing application. This portion of citizen comments are made other than the public hearing items that we have on the agenda tonight. If you wish to speak on an item that is on the agenda, please wait until that time to speak. Richard Yakeley is coordinating the technical side of the meeting and will assist with moderating the citizen comment portion. When you're called to speak, you will be unmuted and given one opportunity to speak. Please begin by stating your name and address for the public record. And if you are watching a live stream of this meeting through CityView Municipal Television, please mute it to avoid feedback. Richard, do we have any residents who want to speak tonight?
Thanks, Frankie. We do have some people here, but they're all associated with one of the public hearing items, so no one looking to speak for the citizen comment portion.
Thank you, Richard. We're now moving on to the consent agenda. The items on the consent agenda are plats that meet the requirements of the City of Longview subdivision ordinance. These items will be approved with one vote unless any member of the Planning and Zoning Commission, any member of the public, or the applicant would like an item removed from consent and placed on the regular agenda for discussion. Would anyone like an item removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda for discussion? Hearing none, if you will, we'll entertain a motion, and if you'll state your name for the staff, please. This is a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
This is Nancy Murray. I move to approve the consent agenda.
Tim Carpenter,
Nancy.
second.
Thank you, Tim. A motion has been made and there is a second. We will now conduct a roll call vote. Nancy Murray,
Aye.
Tracy Vincent. He must be having audio problems.
Approved. You got me now?
He approved, yes. Thank you.
You up?
Thank you, Tracy. Tim Carpenter.
Approved.
Thank you, Tim. Brent Stevenson.
Aye.
Thanks, Brent. Pat Noon.
Aye.
Thank you, Cody.
Aye.
Thanks,
Aye.
Cody. Ron Baumgartner.
Aye.
Thanks, Ryan. Jason Jones.
Aye.
And myself, I approve. Staff, will you now confirm the record of the vote?
Yes, ma'am. Nancy Murray made the motion. Tim Carpenter seconded the motion. The vote was 9-0.
Thank you, Angela. Now we'll move on to the regular agenda. The purpose of this meeting is to hear all pertinent testimony of those in support of and in opposition to the applications before the Commission. Today is the first of two public hearings required to approve a change in zoning. The Commission also considers plats. The procedure for public hearing items to be followed tonight will be: the public hearing will be opened and testimony will be heard in the following order. First from staff, then the applicant, and then from the general public, and that would include the general public that is in support and in opposition to the request. If you're part of a large group with a common interest, we ask that you appoint a spokesperson rather than have each individual restate the same information. And when addressing the Commission, please begin by stating your name and address, and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. When all sides have spoken, the public hearing on the matter will be closed and no further public discussion will be entertained. After each public hearing is closed, the Commission will vote on the request. Zoning request and the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation will go forward to the second public hearing, which will be conducted by the City Council on August 13th. Our first regular agenda item is item A, and Angela will introduce it.
Thank you. A public hearing will be held to consider application PV-01 filed by Nicholas Northcutt for a variance to the subdivision ordinance, section 92-97B, which requires sewer and water service to 7.46 acres of abstract 71 D. Ferguson Survey, tract 13-01, section 4, located on the southeast corner of Bill Owens Parkway and H.G. Mosley Parkway.
Thank you, Angela. Now, will you also make staff presentation?
Yes, ma'am. The applicant is requesting a variance to the subdivision ordinance, which requires water and sewer service be provided to all lots. The applicant is proposing to subdivide a tract of land into 4 separate lots. The variance request is for 2 proposed lots within this plat. They are proposed lots 3 and 4, Block 1 of the Cook Addition, located at the southeast corner of Bill Owens Parkway and H.G. Mosley. The lots are located in the floodplain, and there are existing oil and gas facilities located on one of the lots. The applicant is complying with all other subdivision regulations. Staff does make a recommendation to approve the variance with the stipulation that if lots 3 and 4, Block 1, were to ever be developed, the necessary utilities for these lots shall be installed at the expense of the developer/owner. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Are there any questions of Angela? Thank you, Angela. Does the applicant have anything to add, or would you like to speak on the request?
The applicant associated with this request is not in attendance at this time.
Thank you, Richard. Does the commission have any questions for staff or anyone else on this item? Hearing none, we will now open the public hearing. Is there any in support of this request? And if so, please state your name and address for the staff and speak at this time. This is those in support.
There is no one
Hearing
here
none.
at this time.
Thank you, Richard. Hearing none, is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition to the request?
There's no one here at this time.
Thank you. Are there any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion. Please state your name when you make the motion,
Brent.
please.
Brent Stevenson,
Madam-
motion to approve.
This is Pat Noon. I will second the motion.
All right, the way I understood it, Brent made the motion and Pat made the second. Was that correct?
Correct.
Correct.
A motion has been made and seconded. We'll now conduct a roll call vote. Nancy Murray?
I approve.
Thank you. Tracy Vincent?
I approve.
Thank you, Tracy. Tim Carpenter?
Approve, please.
Thank you, sir. Brent Stevenson?
Approved.
Brent Stevenson, was that you?
Yes.
Pat Noon? Okay, Pat Noon?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Cody Sage?
Approved.
Thank you. Ryan Baumgartner?
Approved.
Thank you, Ryan. Jason Jones?
Yes, approved.
And I approve. Staff, will you now confirm the record of the vote?
Yes, ma'am. Brent Stevenson made the motion. Pat Noon seconded. The vote was 9-0.
Excellent. And the record shall so state. All right, regular agenda item B. Angela will introduce it.
Yes, ma'am. A public hearing will be held to consider application Z20-06 filed by Dave Carter requesting a rezone from single family 2 to general retail zoning district for approximately 13.357 acres of lots 3A, 4, and 5, block 112 L Woolly Track subdivision located at 2201 Judson Road.
Thank you, Angela. And if you would please then give us the staff presentation.
Yes, ma'am. The applicant is requesting a rezone of approximately 13.357 acres located at 2201 Judson Road from single family 2 to general retail zoning district. The properties to the north and south of this tract are already zoned general retail. Judson Road is maintained by TxDOT and is a principal arterial roadway. Principal arterial roadways serve major centers of metropolitan areas and provide a high degree of mobility. They are designed to service relatively high traffic volumes, have high operational speeds, and service a significant portion of travel. This type of development is appropriate along this roadway as long as access management is followed. Staff does find that the proposed zoning change is consistent with surrounding uses. Staff does recommend approval of this request, and I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Hearing none, Angela, thank you. Is the applicant present or has a representative that would like to add or speak on this request?
The applicant is here. He's currently muted, but he can unmute himself and he's able to speak at this time.
This is Dave Carter. Appreciate you hearing it. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Any questions of Mr. Carter? Commissioners? We appreciate your attendance. I hear none, so we will move on. Is there something further you'd like to tell us about your project before we do that?
Unfortunately, I can't at the moment. My client has asked me to kind of keep it non-disclosure, if you will, at the moment. But as soon as we can, we look forward to kind of telling you what we're going to do, and I think it'll be a great fit for the city.
Great, thank you. We look forward to it as well. Thank you. Do the commissioners have any further questions for staff, the applicant, or anyone else? We will now open the public hearing. Are there any in support of this request that would like to speak at this time?
No one is registered at this time.
Is there anyone that's registered to speak in opposition?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Hearing no additional questions or comments, we will close the public hearing and we'll entertain a motion. Please state your name when you make the motion. We need a motion and a second.
This is Jason. I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you,
This is Tracy,
Jason.
I second.
Thank you. We have a first and a second. We will now conduct a roll call vote. Nancy
I'm
Murray?
sorry, I missed the second.
Tracy
Oh, it
Vincent.
was Tracy Vincent.
Thank you.
Welcome. And to conduct the roll call vote, Nancy Murray.
I approve.
Thank you, Nancy. Tracy Vincent.
Approve.
Tim Carpenter.
Approve.
Thank you. Brent Stevenson.
Approved.
Pat Noon.
Approve.
Cody Sage.
Approve.
Ryan Baumgardner.
Approve.
Jason Jones.
Yes, ma'am, approved.
And I am Frankie Parson, and I approve. Staff, will you confirm the record of the vote, please?
Yes, ma'am. Jason Jones made the motion. Tracy Vincent did second the motion. The vote was 9-0, approved.
Thank you, Angela. That concludes our agenda items for today's meeting. If there's no further comments,
Madam Chairman,
yes, sir.
did we not
Yes, sir.
have citizen comment that never came forward?
We asked for it in the beginning.
Right, and he said they would to speak to cases, but did they not wish to participate, Richard?
Mr. Carpenter, the people registered were a staff member and Mr. Carter, who did speak as an applicant in regards to his application.
Okay, I want to make sure we didn't miss any citizen comment.
Correct. Everyone who is registered was invited to and spoke when they chose to.
Great,
Should we
thank you, sir.
Should we make a
Thank you,
note
Tim.
of Brad Tidwell's comment?
That's a good point. Brad Tidwell did send an email in support of zoning case V20-06. And let the record so show. He's 100% in support of that request. Is that adequate?
That's good.
All right, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. I appreciate it. In closing, please know that it is possible that our next few planning and zoning commission meetings will need to be conducted via teleconference like this one. So we will be advised month to month. We are adjourned. Everyone have a good evening.